And now let's move to the next section. Now we are going to do more complex with various components on the user interface. Okay. So I hope that you can follow this one step by step. Okay. So if you have any questions, just raise your hand. Or you can ask the TA. I'm now with my TA. So if there's any problem during this development, just raise your hand. Okay. So let's make another example. I'm going to make a file simple font.py, and then the objective is it is a GUI to change the font according to the user input. So first, let's create a window panel, and then let's set the file into simpleFont.ui, and then as you know that we need to convert the user interface into the Python file. So we will convert the .ui into .py, and then let's put some main function to execute the GUI. Okay, let's do the Qt designer. And for this purpose, let's try to use the dialog with buttons button. So I will just make in the same folder GUI, and then I will do the right click, and then I will click on the external tools Qt designer. Okay, so I think you know already how to do this one. As long as you have this external tool, so you can do the user interface anytime. And as you know, we have some templates here. So let's click on the dialog with buttons button. And then if you click this one, you can see that we have the buttons here. So it is automatically created. We have OK and cancel. Again, cancel. Now we are going to make a little bit complicated user interface. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 items. Okay. And one, two. Okay, let's check one by one. Okay, we are going to make one by one from this example. First, let's make the label. So you can choose the label. Okay, here is the label. And then you can drag and drop to the menu. And as you know, we can directly modify the object name and also the text. In this case, I will just double click, and then you can change this to name. So the label will be changed directly to name. And when you click this one, let's use the object name. Okay. This is the object name. The object name will be the variable name. So you need to modify, because the code that I already gave to you later, it will use label name. So I will type label name here. Okay. One more time. So whenever you create a widget, okay, we call it this widget. You need to modify the object name, and then you need to check the text. Okay. So in this case, I have the name, this is name, the text is name, and then the object name will be changed to label name. Okay, that's the first, and then I will do the next, which is line edit. You can check here is the line edit. And then choose the line edit and then go to the panel, and then I want to put here. So this will be the input from the user. And for this line edit, I use the object name. Okay. The object name is line name. So I will change this one, line name. And then let's put the text empty. So I do not have any text inside here. Next, I have the checkbox. Okay. So I have the checkbox. You can find the checkbox from the search button. So you can see the checkbox and then you can put it here. So just click and then move to the head. And then after you have this checkbox, let's change the object name. So the object name is checkbox, but I'm going to use the C box home. Okay, so if you have difficulties, you can just copy this object name and then put here. So the object name will be C box home. And then the text will be full. In this case, you can double click. Okay, you can double click here and then you can type full. Now the text here, it is full, and then the object name is C box full. Okay, so this is based on the explanation that I give to you here. Okay, so you can do next following this information. Okay, let me just make it quick so I can help you if you have any problem. Okay, so this is italic, and then the object name is, I will change this to C box italic. Okay, and then next you will see the number 5. It is radio box. So if it's radio box, then you can type radio button or the radio box. So you can click and put here, and then change this one R box red, and then you can type the word red. And then I have another radio button here. The word will be blue. Okay, and then the object name is R box blue. So I change to R box blue. And then next I have another label. So I can filter the label. So the label will have the text result. And then the variable name is label result. This one, label result. I will have another line edit. So I have another line edit. And I will put this line edit in this result. And then I will make the object name as line result. Okay, for the button, you can see I use the button OK cancel. So you can change this one, the button box to button OK cancel. And I give one more explanation here. For this line edit, you can check on the widget. So on the widget, if you click on this line edit, you can see this one, enable. Okay, so what does it mean by this enable? So if you click this one, then you can input something. You can type something. You can insert something. But I want to show the result here. So the result will be only showing. So I cannot edit. So I do not want to modify. I do not want to change the result. Then you can unclick this one. Okay. When you unclick this one, then you will see that now the line edit becomes green. Then you cannot modify any text given in this text edit. Okay, so if you finish with this one, let's make the file name simple font. Okay, let's save this one into the Python project, into the GUI. Let's make the file name simple font. And after I have the simple font, I hope that you still remember. We need to change this .ui into .py. So there are two ways to change this file. The first way, we can use the terminal. So we can run this statement. Or the other way, we can use the PyUIC from the external tools, and then we modify the arguments. So I will just choose this one, the terminal. Okay. If you want to use the external tool, that's also fine. In this case, I will click the terminal. I hope by now you know the terminal is in the bottom part of this pie chart. Okay, so I will click the terminal, and then I will run this code. And then you will see there is one file, simpleFont.py. So after you have this one, let's check. So I will explain more about this one. Let's make the main function. I will put this one at the end of the simpleFont.py. And then let me run it. So after you have this one, okay, you can see the result. Now I'm not sure what is the problem with the OK and cancel button, but let's keep it for now. Now you can put more code. Okay. So in this code, you can build something with the function. Now I have this code. Okay. In the most bottom of setup UI function, you can put this code. So I will copy and paste this one. The setup UI function. If you open this structure, you can have the setup UI function. This is the setup UI function. In the most bottom, okay, in the most bottom here, you can copy and paste. So you know that this code should have the same indentation. Okay. So it should have the same indentation like this one. Okay, this one should be aligned with the previous code. And then there is one error. Q button group. What is it? So in this case, you can move your mouse to this Q button group. Okay. And then you can see that there is a kind of solution. So the solution is to import the Q button group. So I will let you know later why we need to do this one. Oh, yeah, just click this one. So when you click the solution, then the error message disappear. Okay, so this is the first additional code. This is the left part. And then after you finish with the left part, now let's move to the right part. In the right part, yeah, in the most bottom of UI dialog class, you need to write this one. Okay. So I will just copy and paste this one and put it into this function. Okay, so before the import SIS, you can put one more function which is update label. Okay. So the function update label will be in the same line with the refreshlet UI. Okay. And then after you finish with this one, let's try. So for example, I type any name, Soul, and then if I click bold, and if I click red, and then I click OK, then Soul will be in the bold, and then the color will be red. If I change to italic, and then yeah, it will be in italic. If I change the color to blue, then the color will be blue. Okay, so until this one, let's try. So when you run this one, okay, now you can see that when you put the wrong variable, okay, when you didn't follow me, Tara nameonan ta oru, okay. So this object name should be the same. If you don't put the same object name, then there will be errors. Okay, and also you need to understand how to handle the errors. So the error message will appear in the red color and you need to read it first. Now let's see one by one. So we have like line name, okay, because you define the line name, okay, you can have this one. So I guess you are using my code like this one. That's why some of you wrong. Okay. Why I give this one? So I know that some of you just copy and paste from this, but this is not the correct code. Okay. You can see the radio button 2. Actually, what I want to say for this radio button, it is from the radio box that I mentioned here. So you need to specify the R box, right? And the R box blue. So the variable name should be the same. Okay. That's why when you look at the PyCharm, this one R box blue and R box red, it should be the same with this one. Okay. Now let's check the code one by one. The first code is to set up the UI. It means to make the user interface. So this user interface will have the button OK cancel, and then they will have the label name, they will have the line name, they will have the C box bold, they have the C box italic, they have the R box red, they have the R box blue, and then they have the label result and line result. Okay, if you specify those the same with this table, then it is correct. Okay, so if you just copy and paste this one, this is not correct. Okay, you cannot not correct. So some of you copy and paste this one. Is actually no. You need to follow this one, and after you have the user interface, you need to change to .py, and then this is how to change the .ui to .py using the terminal, or you can use this one if you use the external tool function. So after you have the simple font.py, okay, I will not use this one. Use the code that you have generated in PyCharm. You need to have the main function. Okay, so remember, you need to have the main function. If you don't have the main function, you cannot show the user interface. So it depends on how you define the main function. If you are using the main window, okay, then sorry, if you use the dialog, you will see this one is UI dialog. So you can see from here, this is the Q dialog. So it is the dialog. If it is using dialog, most probably your code will be UI dialog. Okay. If you use this one as main window, then the name will be UI main window. Okay, so please be careful with this variable. And then Demuncha, Sumuncha, okay, is very, very sensitive. Even though you put this one name is C box both like this one, but it is different. Okay, it is so sensitive. You need to understand the Demuncha, Sumuncha, and then put it clearly. So after we have those code, okay, so this is the main function we are going to show the user interface. After you show the user interface, now I put this code. What does it mean by this code? So I have the button group. The button group means I can select the radio button only one. But for the checkbox, I can choose both of them, or I can choose only one of them, or I can choose none of them. For the radio box, you cannot choose two of them. You can choose only one. Because, for example, the color, soul, I can choose whether it is red or blue. But computer cannot understand red and blue at the same time. So you need to choose only one. So that's the difference between the check box and the radio box. For this one, two options are available. Okay, so you can choose the two. But for this radio box, one option is available. So you need to choose only one. That's why in the code, you need to have the Q button group. So you need to make it as a group. In this case, the group is red and blue. If you already choose red, you cannot choose blue. If you already choose blue, you cannot choose red. That's the meaning by this code. And then I have this code. So if I click on the button OK cancel, okay, if I click it, then let's connect to the function update label. Where is the update label? This is the function update label that I defined. So this is the function update label that I defined. So what is inside? Let's look the content. Text 01, it is a variable. Okay, it is a variable. So the text 01 will be the value from the line name dot text. What is line name? If we choose this one, so this is the line name. Okay. So whenever you put anything, okay, when you put something here, then I will put it into the variable text 01. And then I will put the result of text 01 into the line result. What is line result? Line result is this one. Okay. So we want to put in the line result. We are going to set the text. So these two, do you understand? Okay, we want to get the text from the user and then we want to put it into the line result. After that one, I have one variable component. It is empty. So if the red box is checked, what does it mean? It means this one. If the red is checked, then it means I click. So if it is yes, if it is true, then let's make the component. It is the color becomes red. Else if the box blue is checked, so it means if it is checked this blue, then the color will be blue. Now we have this one, hold true. What does it mean? If the C box poll is checked, so this one, if I check this one, then it is true. If I don't check that one, then it is false. And italic, this one, if this one is checked, then it will be true. If I don't check this one, it will be false. So you can see here, when you have this poll, okay, oh, it doesn't show here. So when it is not checked at the first time, so the default is false. Okay. So if you check, then it becomes true. So this one will be false or true. Now I want to check in the if. So I hope by now you can understand. If this one is true and this one is true, then I would like to make the font as bold and italic. But if only bold is true, then I would like to make it as bold. If I want to put the italic, then I will just put the italic. And then here I want to make the line result with the style. So the style will be this one. So you can apply with the any Python code that you already know. For example, I want to print the component. Okay. So I want to know what is the component actually. Let me close this. Okay, let me make anything. So full, right? Okay. Oh. Oh, right. Okay, so that okay. So you can see this is a kind of information that the text that you want to print will be in the color of red, and then the font will be in the bold. So whenever you click this one, then you can get this kind of result. Okay. Okay, so that's the way to do with this simple font. Yeah, I hope that this basic, yeah, we spend a lot of time to deal with this GUI. I hope that you understand how to make this GUI for your team project. Okay. You don't need to design very fancy. You can just design like this one and then try to run with your program. Okay. It means if I click this OK button, then it should run something that you want to do. Maybe you want to run your game, or you want to run your pizza store. You want to run, I don't know, what is any project that you want to do. Then once you click on the button OK cancel, yeah, you can do something according to the function that you have. Okay. So I will go to the next. This is more complicated. Okay. I want to teach you one case study. So this code, actually, I want to make a case study which is a coffee shop. but maybe if there are many errors during the class, it will take more times. I will make video. Okay, I think it will be better for me to make the video how to make the coffee shop, and you can follow my video later. I will post into the e-class, and then you can try how to create this coffee shop. Okay, and I will make this as assignment. Okay, so after you follow my video, after you watch my video, so I will give you one assignment to make the similar like this one, and then you need to submit it. Okay, so before we do with this kind of form, I would like to teach you how to read and how to write text file. So write and read on a text file. So before we start the case study, let's study how to write and read on the text file. Write, it means we are going to save some text into a file. Read, it means we are going to read some text from a file. Okay. Now let's see. I'm going to write this city name, Seoul, Busan, Jeju, and I want to put it into a text file. Okay. A text file, usually we have the extension .txt. So .txt. So in this case, let me copy and paste this one. I will make a file write.py. Okay, in the GUI, I will make a file, a Python file. Let me write.py. Okay, so I will do this one. I will make a file which is city.txt, and then the content of the file will be Seoul, Busan, and Jeju. So you can run. If you run, it seems you have nothing here. Okay. Nothing here, but you can see there is one new file, city.txt. Okay. What is it? It stores the text that you just code. So it says Seoul, Busan, and Jeju. So using this statement, I'm going to write into the city.txt, and the data that I'm going to write is the Seoul, Busan, and Jeju. What does it mean by this one? /n. It is new line. Okay, it goes to the next line. It means after I write Seoul, let's go to the next line, and then I will write Busan, and then I will go to the next line, and then I will write Jeju. Okay. Now, after I have this one, I want to read the file. Okay. I will copy and paste this one, and then let's make a new file, read file.py. So first, I want to call the file name which is city. So you can see now, when we open the file, there is R. R means this is to read. Okay. If you go to write, W means write. So I want to write and I want to read. It is different. If I want to read this one, then I will put R, and then the first line, I would like to read the line. So if the line is not empty, it means if I can find one text in the text file, so let's print the line. And then go to the next line. So if the line is still available, let's print the line. And then go to the next line. So this will be a loop until you have no text. Okay. So this will be read line by line. So you can see the result will be Seoul, Busan, and Jeju. It reads from the city.txt. Now, I have a list. Okay, you still remember list. Let's suppose I have the list like this one. I sell Americano and I sell one Americano and the price is 3,500. I sell cafe latte and I sell 1 cup of cafe latte and the price is 3,500. I want to put this information in the text file. How can I do this one? So I give the code. Let's look at this code. Let's make the right list to file. So I have two data. I hope by now you understand the two-dimensional list. This is the first list. Maybe this is the first order. And then this is the second order. So I can say there are two customers. Okay. So I want to put it into the output file. And there is another way to write the file. I want to open the file name, which is this one, and I'm going to write. For every row in the data, this one, let's put like this one. It means in the row, how many items do we have? First is Americano, and then next is 1, and then next is 3,500. So it means for every item, let's make it as a string and then join them with comma. And then let's write it. So if I run, you will have the output file. So the output file will be Americano, 1, 3,500 and cafe latte, 1, 3,500. If I want to read the file, okay, let's read file to this. So the same thing with this open, I would like to add, which is read. And then I want to read all the lines. After I read all the lines, I want to read it step by step, or I want to read it line by line. So the first line will be strip. Strip means I would like to remove some white space and the new line characters. After I remove the white space and after I remove to go to the next line, I'm going to split it with comma. And then let's print it. Oh. Sorry. The file name is output file. So you can see that now we can get the data like this one. Okay. So the file name is output file.txt. I was mistaken to write the output.txt. Okay, so I think I need to stop.